What's going on, everybody? I am back with another Prizepicks NBA player props video, breaking it down. Going to be giving you guys 5 picks to get you winning some money over here on Prizepicks. As always, guys, if you haven't signed up for Prizepicks, would highly recommend you do so. It is a player props website where you can win money off of picking the over and under on things like players, points, assists, rebounds, assists, fantasy score, three-pointers made, free throws made, etc. Go ahead and sign up today. Use that promo code KJK DFS to receive an instant match deposit up to $100 on your first deposit today. Again, that is code KJK DFS. Lock that in, get you some free money, and start winning some money over here on Prizepicks, guys. So without further ado, let's get into it. We're going to have 5 picks for you in the play-in round. Some big games to be had here. Breaking down the tournaments tonight is going to be the 7-8 seeds playing for both conferences. The winner will automatically go on to the NBA playoffs. The loser will have to take on the winner of the 9-10 game taking place tomorrow. So obviously, a lot on the line here tonight. I expect there to be a full allotment of minutes. Finally, after that crazy last week of NBA, I'm excited to talk about some normal rotations and give you guys some 5 picks. So if you enjoyed the content, would be greatly appreciated if you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. Like goal on this will be 100 likes. And if you do want to check out the premium content packages, I do offer that over here, patreon.com/KJK_DFS. I do offer DraftKings, FanDuel, MLB, Prizepicks, MLB, and both as well for the Prizepicks. If you want to get access to both at a discount, you can get the combo packages. So let's get into it. Let's go game by game here of the guys that I'm looking to pick. In the first game we're going to talk about is the Cleveland Cavaliers Brooklyn Nets game. This game comes in with a 228.5 over under 8.5 point spread in favor of the Brooklyn Nets. And I want to be targeting the highest usage guys on the floor that I expect to play lots of minutes. And the first guy I want to talk about is Darius Garland, and I wanted to target his fantasy score. I like the over 42 fantasy score for Darius Garland, averaging 40.7 over his last 5. Keep in mind, the last week was kind of crazy, guys. Guys resting up for playoffs. It doesn't really matter. When Darius Garland gets a lot of minutes, I expect him to produce at a very high rate. Over here on DraftKings, you can see when he's been putting up the normal allotment of minutes, 41 minutes. You do get the 3 points for blocks and steals as well in the playoffs, which I do think is a big deal when these guys are going to be playing so many minutes. I think if they can rack up some blocks and steals, you know, just based off being the floor alone, they might be able to rack up some big fantasy scores. And for that reason, I am going to be targeting a lot of the high usage guys that are playing lots of minutes and their fantasy score. I like the over 42 fantasy score for Darius Garland in this game environment. Do expect him to play massive minutes. Do expect him to be very involved. Highest usage guy on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Then when you're looking at as far as how he produces on a per minute basis here, Darius Garland, on my sheets, he's putting up 1.09 Prizepicks fantasy points per minute on the season. So 1.09, I expect him to play 40-plus minutes in this game environment. I like the over 42 fantasy score for Darius Garland. Running it back on the other side, same thing. A guy that I expect to play lots of minutes. That's going to be involved in all assets of the game, and that's going to be Kevin Durant. And once again, I like his over 54 fantasy score in this game environment. Same thing. Another guy that produces at a very high rate. Looking at my sheets as far as Kevin Durant, 1.35 Prizepicks fantasy points per minute on the season. I do expect him to be out there for 40-plus minutes. Same thing as Darius Garland in a playing game where they need a win. You know, I just think these guys play massive minutes in this type of a game environment. And Kevin Durant's been playing right around 40 minutes plus a game every single time out and producing these massive numbers. I expect it to continue to happen for him. And once again, you do get the points for the blocks and steals if we're factoring in fantasy score versus, you know, the points, rebounds, and assists, which kind of makes me just feel a little bit better about it in the playoffs. With they're going to be out there for so many minutes. If we can rack up some blocks and steals, those peripheral stats will help us hit this over 54 fantasy score for Kevin Durant. Third on the list, we're going to be heading on over to the Los Angeles Clippers Minnesota Timberwolves game. This game comes in with a 230.5 over under 3-point spread, and I'm going to be targeting the main stud on the LA Clippers, the guy, once again, that I expect to play a ton of minutes, contribute in all categories. That's going to be Paul George. We're going to be taking his over 48 fantasy score, a guy that will get you buckets, he will get you assists, he will get you rebounds, he will get you blocks and steals. Fantastic defender as well. And same story, guys. I want to be targeting the guys that are playing lots of minutes, that are getting lots of usage, that I expect to, you know, really put up a big fantasy score. And Paul George is definitely one of those guys. You can see he will rack up the peripherals as well with the blocks and steals. 4 steals, 1 block, 3 steals, 2 steals, 3 steals, 2 blocks, 2 steals in the playoffs. I do think that is a big deal. It's important to know the scoring. They do give you 3 points for blocks and steals over here on Prizepicks, so I like the over 48 fantasy score for Paul George. And running it back on the other side, there are 2 guys that I do think have some nice value over here on Prizepicks. The first guy that is going to be Anthony Edwards, 38 fantasy score. I think that's too low. A guy, once again, I expect to play a ton of minutes. His per minute production is very good, putting up 1.05 Prizepicks points per minute. 38 in the 30s, I will gladly take that. I expect that he goes out there and puts up 40-plus fantasy points in this game environment. Once again, I expect him to play lots and lots of minutes. Anthony Edwards, probably right around 40 minutes. Same thing as Paul George in a playing game. They're going to be up there in the 39 minutes. You can rack up those blocks and steals, get the points, the rebounds, the assists, all the above. I like the over fantasy score for Anthony Edwards. And rounding things out, another guy on their side I do think has some value, and that is going to be D'Angelo Russell. Another guy they have in the 30s. I expect to score 40-plus fantasy points in a playing game, playing massive minutes. D'Angelo Russell, I like the over 34 fantasy scores. His minutes haven't exactly been the highest throughout the season, but it's playoffs time. It's time to ramp that up. He has played up to 37 minutes in competitive games. I'm expecting something along those lines, upper 30s minutes once again. I think there is some nice value on the over 34 fantasy score. And that is my 5 picks, guys. Looking to go 5-0, of course. As always, if you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. Check out the premium content packages if you'd like. I got a bunch of other stuff linked below in the description as well. We got a merch store, some referral links, all that fun stuff. Sponsors if you want to check out the other sponsors of the channel. But wishing you guys all the best of luck on your Prize Picks picks tonight, and we will see you in the next one.